It's the Really Charlie podcast. Sounds so true. Grab a chair, pour out a glass. Let's break through. Echoes in the room as the stories unfold. Tune in, lean back, let the moments be bold. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie podcast. Tune your ear with each word spoken. We're drawing you near. Yo, it's the Really Charlie podcast. Set your mind free. Diving deep, discover what's meant to be. Oh, 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 oh.
Hey, welcome to the Really Charlie podcast. Here on this special day, it is Monday, June 15th. Oh my God, what a day, what a day. If you are Cape Verdean, you are loving this day, you are loving it. Because you know what? Cabo Verde took Spain to the limit, right? And ended up playing a very, very good game. Oh my God, I was so happy to watch that game. And then I had to, the second half, had to listen to it on the radio, internet radio. Shout out to Fox Sports, who was covering the game. It was a very, very interesting game, What's up, Reggie Victor? I see you, man. Thank you for joining us. But what a day, what a day. FIFA World Cup, man. Definitely these past cup tournaments I've been truly loving, and it actually captured my attention. But now this time around, Cabo Verde in it, oh my God, it's just a great feeling to see the homeland just coming through, man, and making the whole world proud, man. It's crazy, what a day. If you are on social media, you just see pictures from everybody, from all kinds of family, everyone trying to represent. And it was just amazing, and so I was just amazed with the game and just listening to it. Really got tense with that last 5 minutes. I'm going to try to stay closer to the mic this time. I fade back. I definitely know what I need to do. I need to get a microphone in my head with my headphones, and because I move around and bouncing, bobbing and weaving, and so it's brought to my attention that sometimes my voice fades out. And that's because I'm on the mic. So, anyways, Reggie, yeah, I will ask him about the Victor family. Just waiting for him to log on. I'm trying to get in contact, shoot him a text, and let's see. But yeah, today's guest is Dr. Ed Gomes, as we know him in New Bedford. Edmund Gomes, Pastor Gomes, man, he just full of titles, just a great guy, and I'm so glad that I finally got him on here, Let's see, let me shoot him a text here, see what's going on. So the game was just fascinating, man. It was just good. I mean, the goalie Vincino, oh man, I definitely got to get that jersey. That's going to be something that I wear just as much as I wear my Jason Tatum jersey, or my Drake May jersey. Definitely going to get that jersey and wear it so proudly, man. It was just a great game. It was a great day for Cabo Verde. It was a great day for the World Cup, man. Amazing. So I am so happy. And I didn't realize Portugal was in it too. So get to cheer on a bunch of teams. USA, Portugal, Cabo Verde. Just gonna go on, and but all in all, they were all good games, man. Um, but I can't wait. Can't wait to watch a few more, and as long as time allows it, if they have those early games during the day, I'm probably not going to be able to watch it because I'm at work. Um, so, all right. So, Dr. Ed is tied up. He'll be on momentarily, and then we could proceed with the interview. Let's talk shop. Thank you for joining me here on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. I also want to thank you for joining us when we're at Honeydew. We're chopping it up at Honeydew, Route 18, Wednesday morning, 113 Conway Street in New Bedford, Massachusetts, right along Route 18. If you got time around 10 a.m., come on in. We have Chops Turner singing in the morning. There's music in the morning, and then right around 10:30, we all come to the table. Walter Manise, Chops Turner, and myself, and we talk shop about whatever it is that comes forward, and feel free, man. If you come into the donut shop, you're a patron, and you want to just talk about something on the podcast, we'll bring you on. We'll bring you to the table, right? So I can't really. I mean, I can tell you that it's a great feeling, man. People come on and they're just talking. It's just like FaceTiming your friends, your relatives. You're on the podcast and you just talk, just like you would do if you were sitting on your porch or sitting in your yard, and we talk about whatever it is. We try to keep the politics out of it because it's never anything good when we start making those conversations or creating those conversations, right? So chopping it up at Honeydew Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. Come on down. Come get a coffee, a delicious sandwich, the desserts, the pastries. Saturdays they have malasadas, which is a Portuguese pastry. Like a fried dough with sugar and beautiful, tastes delicious. And then let's see, Wednesday night. The goalie is 40 years old. Ed, yeah, he was. Played an outstanding game. Definitely one of the best athletes on the field, and he showed it. Thought it was like 8 to 10 stops. It's amazing. Especially with professional football players. So they definitely did amazing job, and I was so happy. So what was I saying? Oh, Wednesday night, 7:30 Eastern time, we have another podcast that sometimes you have to lose yourself. Podcast. It's myself and Marvin David Speller, the author of Unpacking Grief, Shattered to Onward, and we talk about many things, health, grief. This particular week, we're going to talk about Man to Woman. It's about a poem that I wrote talking about how a man is just kind of pleading to a woman to kind of change her ways, and we're going to talk about that Wednesday night. So join us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Please like and subscribe to the channels. If you don't have social media, go ahead, try YouTube, Really Charlie Podcast, or sometimes you have to lose yourself. So, but our guest tonight is Dr. Ed Gomes. He's getting ready, he's setting up. So I'm just chit-chatting and trying to keep you guys company because I don't want to lose my audience. You guys know that I'm consistently on. When I say I'm going to be on, I want to make sure that you guys, if you anticipate the podcast, I want you to, know that I'm coming, and I'm coming on, and I'm going to give you a show. It's no different than grabbing your remote and putting the TV on. you want to see something. And that's when I announced that I'm going to have a podcast. I'm definitely going to have a podcast. If it's with a guest or if it's with me by myself, um, I definitely make sure that I put it out there. So many different episodes. I totally lost count. But we are definitely accomplishing many things on the podcast associated with me. And it's well over 300 episodes. And it just goes on. I think it was 600, and whether it's here or somewhere else, a lot of episodes. And that's what happens when you give a man a mic and a platform like StreamYard, and it started in 2020, and here it is in 2026. My podcast is in first grade. What's going on, 12th Street? 12th Street, you and I tomorrow, right? I guess. Yep. So, good evening. Good evening. Please like and subscribe to 12th Street Talk Back on YouTube. Check out her channel, Victoria J. Definitely good people. Good people. Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday. You are correct. Got my days all messed up, man. And believe it, the week just started, and I'm already anticipating the weekend. So it's going to be a long week. Found out my job is company has been sold, but run and maintained by the same people. But and they had a big meeting today, and they're just trying to dispel all the different rumors that are going on, and so they gave us a nice dinner, and we got to meet the new owners, and definitely some good people. First impressions, I gotta give them 5 stars. So, but yeah, so I'm full and ready for this podcast with Dr. Ed Gomes. Yeah, 12th Street, man. It's gonna be a long week. We just gotta inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Oh man, yeah. It's I definitely need about 4 or 5 days off. It's kind of veg out. Definitely need that. So, yeah, 12th Street. I want to get you back on, Victoria J. I'm taking a break after you. Yeah, we gotta, especially working full time. You got your shows, doing all kinds of things. When you keep a frequent, you keep a steady schedule, with shows, and you got to maintain it, right? If you're committed to it, that can be tiresome. And but you got to stay on point. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 podcasts this week rather. 2 on Wednesday, and I'm going to be a guest on another one with Victoria J. And then Thursday I have Walter James Sylvia, an author, and he wrote a book, so he'll be on Thursday. And no. Hey Reggie, Cape Verdeans are always late. It's crazy. Check out New Bedford Light at the Lighthouse. All right, what's going on there, Ed? Ed, when you coming on the podcast, man? You're the parade marshal this year. I'd like to get you on this podcast so I can highlight you, talk about you, and so we need to do something. I'm gonna call. I'm gonna have to call Mary Ann because you know you just you're too busy, man. You are too busy. Um, but yeah, we gotta highlight you, man, before you hit the parade route. I want to talk to you before then. I want to see what you're feeling about being the proud parade marshal 2026 of the Cape Verdean Independence Parade, year 51 of independence. So Ed, we need to get you on the Really Charlie podcast. So I can produce some videos of you, a video of you, and let it be archived forever. And I could say that I talked to the infamous, famous. All depends how you know Ed Rogers. He's either famous or he's infamous, one or the other. But we really, really want to talk about both sides of it, right? Both sides. Good dude. Ed Rogers, a good dude. You need a 5-hour show with Ed. Yeah, get that right. The guy's he's legendary. Ed Gomes is legendary. Look how long he's been doing this thing, right? He did it when he was a teenager. He done it when he was a young man. And as he moved around, the region and then around the country, guess what? He was still doing things, still building, as he says. He wants to. Here's his books right here, man. He's want to leave a legacy. You want to build a legacy. He's got 3 books, man. The guy he got it right here in black and white, and tells you what you should do. And he's been doing it. He's truly been doing it. And all right, Ed. Let me talk to Ed 1 second here. Hold on 1 second, folks. Talking to our guest right now, trying to instruct them how to do this thing. Yeah. All right. So as we're waiting for him, we will keep talking shop here. So yeah, Ed definitely needs a long. I mean, he wrote a book about his life. Got 3 books, so that's a lot of history. And to have him on for an hour, we ain't even gonna scratch the surface. We're not even gonna scratch the surface, right? Um, so once he comes on, and family and friends of Dr. Ed Gomes, please stand by so we can talk shop with him in a few moments. We're going to talk about him too. I was Dr. Ed Gomes. He's having a problem, technical problem. Electronics is not easy, man. You can have a doctorate and you still can't get on the studio of the Really Charlie podcast, right? All right. Um, the So we are talking about Cape Verde. That's great. They did a great job. Um, many things going on. I and does anybody know what Todd Dos Reese is doing? I understand he got a new project, so I want to find out more information about that. If anyone knows, please add it in the comment section. Um, so, Butchie Texera says, "My man, I'm watching. What a great man! So glad to know him all my life, and I think he was my cousin Kenny, Francis' godfather. Yeah, probably so. You're right, probably so, and because he was involved with every family, right? Right, Butchie was it? And Ed was involved with every family. Um, I can't wait. Yeah, he was he was a chaplain at the New Bedford Police Department for a while, and it was good to see him every now and then walking through the halls and talking to everybody, and but it goes beyond that, right? He's known me since I was a kid, and he's always been just somebody that I admired. He made me smile. He had a conversation with me, played basketball together, just a good dude, right? All right, here we go. Uh-oh.
Charlie, can you see me?
I can see you. I can hear you. Uh-oh. Call the police. Dr. Ed Gomes is in the house. What's going on, man?
Man, I'll tell you what, man. Do I need more light? Am I okay?
You're okay, man. You got that shine already, man. We don't need no light for Dr. Ed Gomes. You've been shining for a long time, man. Well, I'm gonna give you your intro.
How long
like
have you been retired now, Charlie?
I've been retired since 2018, so it's 8 years almost, and I love it.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And tell me, what are you doing now?
I'm driving a bus for Tremblay's Bus Company. I'm in the process of starting a new business with my private investigations. So, doing a lot of things, and I always got my resume out there because sometimes I'm never satisfied. I want to move on and try to do some things, and so I'm not afraid of work. That's for sure. So
that is awesome. So when do you hope to get your private investigative company going?
Probably next month, and it's the paperwork's all downstairs. I just got to mail it in. They do the little background check, and then they give me my certification. So,
will you hire some of your former police officers to work with you?
Probably initially I won't, because I'm just going to do a small amount of stuff, and then eventually I'll once things start working and it will be successful. I know it will, because I get calls all the time. And then I'll grab some men and women that want to do some work on the side, and we'll do a few things, So
now, what kind of investigations would you do, Charlie?
I'll do background checks, and I'll also do skip chasing, which is trying to pursue a person
Really?
for a landlord or something. Some people skip out on landlords, so landlords try to track them down so they can, serve them some notices or papers or something like that. So I don't like the process in serving. I don't want to be serving summonses to people, but I'll definitely locate people for a customer, and I can't wait.
That's awesome. That is awesome, man. That's exciting. So how'd you get involved with this podcast, man? How did this become a reality?
The pandemic. I needed something to do, man. But Ed, let me give you your introduction. You deserve an introduction, man. I got to do this right? Let me do this here. Our guest today is New Bedford basketball legend, mentor, author, chaplain, and leader. From the courts of New Bedford to the halls of Liberty University, Dr. Ed Gomes has spent decades helping people discover purpose, faith, leadership, and legacy. As a longtime spiritual leader of Liberty Flames football, and now Liberty University's Director of Faculty and Staff Care and Counseling. Dr. Gomes has impacted countless lives. 1, 2, 3, 4,000. Tonight, we are talking about leadership, faith, mentorship, family, athletics, and what it truly means to leave a legacy. There is no doubt, people, that this man has left a legacy. Not in one state, not in 2 states, not in 3 states, not in 4. He probably left a legacy in the whole entire East Coast of the United States of America that sprinkled out to across the country because he's made friends everywhere. He probably has friends in every state, except Massachusetts. Nobody likes him in Massachusetts. So, but Dr. Ed Gomes, man, you are amazing. And I'm going to tell you firsthand from me that you definitely have inspired me just because of the conversations you have. You never hesitate to talk to anybody. And me being a young kid in our neighborhood, you talk to me every chance you get. How you doing? What's going? How's mom? Blah, blah, blah. You did that routine very, very well. But that's a little routine that lasts a lifetime. And I want to say thank you for doing that for this young man.
Wow. You're welcome, Charlie. It's an honor to be with you. And I look forward to complimenting what you do on a weekly basis. And so I'm honored to be a part of this podcast. And I know that it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I want to tell you, man, when I interviewed Paul Gomes Jr., your sister-in-law was in her house, man. She wanted to make sure that we knew that she was there. That door opened wide open. It was closed. And then there was a noise in the sink. There was nothing in the sink. I said, look at Mrs. Gomes is telling us, hey, what you guys doing in my house on this podcast, But it was an amazing interview. And you are the second Gomes on this podcast. And I truly, truly appreciate it. Michael Consaccio says, my man Eddie Gomes, tremendous player, my favorite player to watch ever in New Bedford. That's so true. That everybody kind of says that, man. It's the legacy of your family is amazing, and it's either you, or it's your brothers, your nieces, your nephews, and in my case, I got to hear stories of your dad, and kind of following the footsteps that he took and being on the police department. So I was able to see those old timers and they would talk about Geech Gomes, your dad, and so it was amazing. So Reggie Victor says to ask you about Mama Victor. Let's see. I'm gonna add one more comment here, and this is from it says Bob H. It's on YouTube. He says, "Hey, brother Ed, good to hear from you. Maybe passing through your city soon, Bob." I believe that's Bob Horn, if I'm correct, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. So you know what? I have a lot of questions for you, but I first and foremost want to ask you, how's life? How's things going? And you come back to Massachusetts, and I was so happy to hear that you were coming back, and that's why I wanted to get you on this podcast as quick as I can, because what I want to do is I want to create a documentary on your family. And so a lot of your family members are actually talking to me, and Keith, your nephew Keith, he actually volunteered to do some things with videoing, and so we're going to try to get this done, and I'm going to give him all the footage on here so we can actually get this accomplished.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So let me see. I got a few questions for you, and if I was a doctor at Liberty University, I would have gave you an exam of 40 questions. That's how much I produced. Not that I'm going to ask you 40 questions, but I got a few of them for you. You know, Ed, let's talk about. Let's just start this off, because I know this could be, you could talk about this for a while. But when it came to growing up in your house, and you had people ahead of you playing basketball, right? And you had Mary playing basketball, right?
That's right.
Before you. But who was that inspiration for you? Was it everyone or just one individual person in your family?
I would say when I think of the heritage that God has blessed me with, when it comes to my brothers, Paul,
Mm-hmm.
Martin, Jake, and
Yeah.
Tommy, and Stevie, and then of course Mary, and my other sisters. One of the things that I learned early is that people would always want to compare us to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I learned from my older brothers, and more so from Tommy, is that you never talked about yourself, but you always talked about others.
I agree.
You never made it about you. You always complimented your brothers and your sisters. And so when people would try to compare us to each other, that was something that we were taught that you don't do.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I think of the heritage that's been passed on to me from Paul to Martin to Jake to Tommy, again, what it does, it causes you to walk with humility and not with pride.
Yes.
Not with cockiness, but with confidence,
Mm-hmm.
because of the example that they have set for us. So those would be my thoughts when I think of the heritage that my dad and my brothers and my sisters left for us younger ones.
Yeah. The great legacy. You went to some fine institutions. I was very, very happy at my time coaching at Bishop Stang, and for 3 years, and the school treated me well. And when I started coaching there, I followed the footsteps of your cousin, little Isaiah Holtman. So when I got to the school, it made it easier for the transition, right? Because when you follow the footsteps of Isaiah, I just followed suit, and he made it easier, especially when it came to communication, back and forth with the students and the staff. It was just amazing. So I had a great 3 years there, and so. But what bring you to Stang? Who wanted you to go to Stang? You? Someone to recruit you? What happened?
In my junior year at Voc, I made a decision that probably has changed the trajectory of my life since then, and that was to ask Jesus Christ to be my personal Savior. That is when
Amen.
my relationship with God became a reality. And God did something on the inside. You know what's amazing though, Charlie? If I had to do it again, I probably would have stayed at Voc my last year because I was at the point where they were going to begin to show me how to put a roof on.
Mm.
My freshman, my sophomore, my junior year, every year was building on how to become a carpenter. And so if I had to do it again, I probably would have stayed my last year. But anyways, but during that time in 1971, there was a change in my life, my outlook towards basketball, my outlook towards my family, my friends, my whole outlook on life changed. And so I said, well, let me make a change in a high school. I thought of a Holy Family. My brother Stevie was there.
Hmm.
I thought of New Bedford High School. And then Hartmut Andrade,
Yes, great
Richard
guy.
Andrade, in fact, you know his dad, Bobby, he was a cop with you.
Hmm.
And so Hartmut Andrade and I decided that we would go to Stang. And so we got a scholarship to go to Stang for our last year. And that was a
Nice.
great experience.
Hmm.
But it was basically our decision. We thought that was the best place for us to go if we were going to make a change. And it was a great year for us.
Yeah. Yeah. Good friends of mine, both Mr. Andrade and his son Hartman. They, the one thing about those two, right, is um, they were, to me, they're very similar, right? Their personalities was kind of, but I love both of them, and getting to build a relationship with both men, and then later on with Bobby was really great for me. So another great family, another great heritage, where they followed the footsteps of their father.
Yep.
Um, so um, so you were in good company at Stang, and those friendships last forever. I'm pretty sure you were still talking to people that you had at Stang that may still be alive, that you still communicate with. Um, and there's there's still people that I had met at that school and that I still associate with and still communicate with. So
Yeah, it was a great experience. Met a lot of great people. And Hartman Andrade and I, it was a great year for us. Coach O'Brien playing for Coach O'Brien. Of course, later on, folks like yourself, Lenny Rocha, Gary Pope. I mean, you think of all the people that have Holtman that have gone to Stang and made an impact,
yeah,
so it was a great experience.
it sure was. Uh, I didn't personally speak to Mr. O'Brien, but I did have shake hands with him at one point as a young kid, just by accident, and I didn't know it was him until until years later. It was crazy, um, and but crazy late. You mentioned Stang, but there's another Stang alumni that I want to talk to, and that's Anne Marie Treadup. I want to get her on the podcast, talk to
Oh,
her about
wow.
her accomplishments.
Is that
Um,
Marty Tredup's daughter?
yeah, yep.
Oh,
And
yeah. Her daddy played basketball against my brothers in the city league. But, oh, yeah, sure. He was a little short guy, but he was tough, man.
it sure was. Yeah, it's I talk to him every now and then downtown, and we share a bunch of stories. And there's one thing: you can stop me in my tracks if you want to tell me a story about New Bedford. I will stop and listen. And hopefully, you'll tell me the truth because I'm gonna report. I'm gonna repeat every story I learned. Um. All right, Ed. I got a question for you. What was it like growing up in New Bedford South Central neighborhood?
For one, with your dad, our dad being a police officer,
Mm-hmm.
we everybody knew Dad.
Yes.
They didn't know us by the first name, but they always said you're one of Geech's boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're one. In fact, I remember one time my brother Paul changed this flat for a police officer, and the police officer wanted to pay him, and my brother Paul said, "No, man." He said, "If I take this money from you, my father's going to stick that size 11 up my rear end
Mm-hmm.
because my father always taught us that you do things. Of course, he probably wanted to get that money that the police officer wanted to give him.
Yeah.
But growing up in where we grew up, one, everybody knew your family. Everybody knew your dad. Everybody knew your mom.
Yes.
Everybody knew your brothers. I mean, everybody knew your sisters. And so wherever you went, I mean, when they found out that Paul Gomes was your brother, or Martin was your brother, or Tony Geech was your father,
Mm-hmm.
it was there was an appreciation for the legacy that my dad and my brothers left for us younger ones. So when they found out that we were one of the Gomes boys, there was just so much respect for
Yes.
those that went before us. So it was a privilege. We didn't realize all that we had, but we had more than we realized we had.
So true. And I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. If I had to start my life all over again, if God said, Charlie, we're going to start all over again, but you're going to do exactly what you did already, I'd be all for it. Raise both hands. I'd say, let's go. Because the neighborhood we grew up in was so special to me. And I never had a boring day in our neighborhood. I was never, ever bored at all.
Where did now? I know that your Uncle David and your mother, they lived on Russell Street.
Yep, 38 Russell.
Right now, where because your father back then, they didn't have the threes, but I guarantee if they had a 3-pointer back then, the way your father shot them 3-pointers, and there was another one that they were like peanut butter and jelly. Was it Charlie Gunn's house?
Charlie Gunn's house. Yep.
End?
Yes.
Man, your father and him, they were an awesome combination. But back then, they didn't have the threes. But where did you grow up?
I grew up. I was, let's see, the first. I was in the Bay Village, but before the Bay Village, we were on Grinnell Street, Grinnell and South 2nd Street.
Okay.
Near the old Harbor Cafe, or where Harry Pina's club was.
Yeah,
we grew up over there. Yep. And then we were on Purchase Street, Purchase and Russell, for a few years. And then eventually we were in the Bay Village for most of my life up until I was about 12. And then we took off to LA, went to California for 3 years.
Wow.
Then to Florida. I went to Florida for 2 years to live with my dad. And then I came back to graduate from New Bedford High School. But I had a ball, went and traded in for anything in the world. It was amazing.
Was it you and your brother? Did you have a younger brother?
Yeah, me and my brother Kevin, 11 months apart. And then later on, my brother Malik. And then my dad had my other brothers and my sister. So it was 5 boys and 1 girl. And but me and Kevin and Malik, we grew up together in our house with my mom and my other siblings. They grew up with their moms.
Wow.
So Kevin and I, we grew up, I tell everybody, we went all over the country, but I didn't have to worry about making friends. I had my best friend with me. That was my brother Kevin. We had so much, we could play basketball together. play some baseball, play some catch, play some football, but and you know how he is. He's just funny. I laughed so much with him in life. I had so much. It was like a comedian in my house. He's always make me laugh. In fact, between you and him, you put you two guys on the same court. I'm kind of glad that you was on my team most of the time because, if you guys didn't get the score right, everybody would believe Ed Gomes. Ed must be saying the right score, but the problem is you guys would say like 4-7. We only shot like maybe 4 or 5 shots that were made in the whole game, and you guys it's 4-7.
Yeah, we multiplied. Every time we scored, we multiplied. And when you guys scored, we subtracted.
Yeah, that's it. Let's see. Let me continue with this one. You talked about your dad, so I won't have to ask you that question. What lessons from New Bedford have stayed with you throughout your years or throughout your career?
That's a great question, Charlie. What lessons have stayed with me? I will never forget. I was in front of my house on Walnut Street, and Mr. DeMello. Mr. DeMello probably has the record outside of Luke Jansen on running for the mayor of New Bedford, Mr. DeMello. Well, he asked me, I was about 8 or 9 years old. He asked me if I wanted to play Little League football. And he asked me if my mother was home. And so I said, yes. Well, he knocked on the door and talked to my mother. And he asked my mother if I could play Little League football. In fact, the name of the team back then was the Sweepers. And they provided all the equipment that we needed. And so one of the greatest lessons that I've learned and I use even today is sometimes it's easier for somebody to see something in you than you see in yourself.
Yes.
And Mr. DeMello saw something in me and us, Jimmy Bookman, Butchie Bookman. He saw something in us that we didn't even see in ourselves. And so one of the greatest lessons for me is when I look at others, you don't look at where they're at, but you look at where they can be, who they can become. And so that's probably one of the greatest lessons that I have taken from growing up where I grew up is you don't look at people for where they're at. You look at people for where they can be. And so that's probably one of the biggest lessons that I take from growing up where I grew up.
Yeah. That's I think I had a little gift in seeing something in some kids, just like Mr. Mellon seeing in you. And I would like, hey, you got to play some sports. I think you'd be a great basketball, baseball player. Now it's gotten to the point where I'm trying to get kids to get into the drama scene and arts and acting, and especially a lot of them know how to sing, but they're very energetic. I said you should be on the stage, we got a question, and it's for Reggie Victor. He's telling me, he said, ask him please about Mama Victor. Do you have something about Mrs. Victor that you want to share?
Man, I'll tell you what, I saw someone today riding on a moped. Mrs. Victor used to get around the city on a moped.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, the favorite one was they had this German Shepherd, Charlie. And there was a roast in the oven.
Yep.
And I'd heard the story that German Shepherd somehow got that roast in the oven out.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't believe these guys. I heard this. Well, one day I asked Mrs. Victor, this is what I've heard. Is there any truth to that? Well, she said that that was a true story, but what she did to that dog on his rear end, she put, I think it was hot pepper.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what that hot pepper did to that dog, but that dog never went after a roast again in her oven.
I love it. I
I
love
thought
it.
I thought them guys were lying to me, but man, when I asked Mrs. Victor that story, she said that was a real story. But after what she did to that dog, he never again ever thought about taking a roast out of her oven.
That is amazing. Oh, I love it. Thanks for sharing that. Let's see. Uh, who were some of the mentors who helped shape your path as a young man? You mentioned your brothers and your sisters and your dad and mom and anybody else?
You know, again, my brother Paul, my brother Martin. Of course, Martin was away most of the time because he was preparing to, be a Catholic priest.
Yes.
But my brother Jake, my brother Tommy, there was a guy by the name of Johnny Montero. In fact, Johnny was a police officer in Dartmouth.
I know who he is.
Johnny, man, there were things that I saw him do on that basketball court that he was someone that really had an impact on me. There was another guy, his name was Hank. He used to work for the Warren brothers.
Mm.
And he would come and pick me up on Sunday afternoon to take me for a ride in his Corvette,
Yeah.
three shift Corvette. He was someone that made an impact on me. But I would probably tell you, out of my brother Tommy probably made the greatest impact on me.
That's nice.
Especially when it came to basketball. And after Tommy got hurt, to see him work out to get back to playing. But again, I think of people like Manny Costa.
Mm-hmm.
Manny Costa was our basketball coach. I'll never forget, Charlie. I tried out for the tumbling team, and I did a cartwheel. And after I did the cartwheel, it was so terrible. We were working out at the Viridian Vets. Manny showed me that back door, and he said, "Hey, stick to basketball." But Manny Costa was another one that had a great impact on me when it comes to basketball.
Oh man. Reggie Victor says one more question. Ask him about the padlock on the freezer.
The padlock on. Oh, of course, the Victor boys. Them, they were all big. So, their mother was cooking all day long.
Yeah.
But they used to have I'd always heard about, locks on refrigerators.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in that family, his mother had to lock the refrigerator all the time because if she didn't lock it, that meant that when she came home, there wasn't going to be any food left in the refrigerator.
True. It's funny, but we all grew up with the personalities and the friendships of the Victor family, and tons of laughs, tons of stories, and no matter what, they all tell different stories, and they're all funny. Until this day, no one's repeated from that family. No one's repeated the same story, and we've known each other for a long, long time. But they always have a different story for me, and that's what I like about that family. How did you end up choosing Liberty University?
You know what happened in 1971, Charlie? I asked Jesus Christ to be my personal savior. The greatest decision I ever made. Changed my whole life. And so my brother Tommy was going to a school in Connecticut, St. Thomas More. And he said, "Ed, let me talk to the coach about you, and maybe maybe you could go to prep school for a year and work on your grades and, practice basketball, work on your craft. So I happened to go try out this one Saturday at St. Thomas More, and I ended up getting shin splints.
Mm.
And I had never got shin splints before that, never got shin splints after that. And so I came home, and my brother Tommy kind of thought I was going through the motions, but I really got shin splints. And so I came home and couldn't figure out why some of the guys that I played basketball with were getting scholarships and I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I said, man, I thought I was just as good as these guys that were getting scholarships. And so in the meantime, I got a scholarship to Johnson and Wales in Providence, but it was more of a culinary school, business school. And so I was going to a little storefront church on 2nd Street, and there was a cop. His name was Jack Wright.
I remember him.
Jack was on the police department for a number of years, and Jack told me about a Bible college in Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
And God had been placing a desire to study the Bible. And so I go check out this Bible college, 25 students, no gym class. In the meantime, I got that scholarship to Johnson and Wales. But God was placing a desire to study the Bible. And so my family thought I lost my mind. They thought I had joined some cult. And so I went and told the basketball coach that I'm going to go to the Bible college for a year. And so I went to the Bible college. In fact, my brother Martin actually paid my first semester's tuition at this Bible college in Newport, Rhode Island. And so we had a pickup game, and we needed one more guy to be the fifth guy. We were going to share our testimonies during halftime. And so I didn't know the guy, but this guy was the starting quarterback for the U.S. Navy football team. I didn't know the guy, but we played the game. He was the fifth guy we needed, shared our testimonies during halftime. Well, this guy was going to Lynchburg to apply to go to seminary to become a pastor.
Yes.
Well, he gets to Lynchburg and he starts talking to the basketball coach. And the basketball coach asked him if he knew anybody that might be able to help us build a program. They had started giving scholarships that year. And so he says, well, I can't think of anybody, but if I do, I'll let you know. Mm-hmm. Well, on the way back from Lynchburg, Virginia to Rhode Island, he remembered me.
Wow.
And so he gave my name to that basketball coach. And I got a phone call. I'm not sure if it was a phone call or a letter. And they wanted to find out if I was interested in taking a trip to go visit this school.
Yeah.
And so I ended up going to check it out. When I got there, Charlie, they showed me this place called Liberty Mountain. And the first question I asked the coach was, where's the basketball coach? Where's the basketball coach? Then I said, where's the dormitory? Charlie, all there was trees, hills. Yep. There was one man. There was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But see, God was in it.
Yes.
And so I ended up getting a scholarship. Back then it was called Lynchburg Baptist College. And so I was there 74, 75, 76. Charlie, we played our basketball games in a local high school. We didn't have anything.
Mm.
But I remember that the founder, Dr. Jerry Falwell, said one day we're going to play against Notre Dame in South Bend, Indiana.
Yeah.
And we're going to beat them. We had no football field.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said one day we're going to play against BYU and we're going to beat them. We had no football field. I thought the guy was crazy. But do you know, those things that I heard, I saw become a reality. In fact, I served 25 years as a chaplain with Liberty Football.
Yeah.
We were playing against BYU there in Utah, 60,000 people. And man, I'm on the sideline saying, man, I remember Dr. Falwell said one day, we're going to play against BYU. We're going to beat them in football. Well, we got beat by 1 touchdown.
Wow. But
2 years later, we played BYU at Liberty University, and we beat them 45-16.
Man.
So, but that's how I ended up in Lynchburg.
Wow. I I I love that. And the craziest thing is, right? God is He's here, man. He's here. Um, that was question number 9. I didn't ask you the questions in between there, right? I just went to 9. If I didn't go to 9, I would never heard that story. That's a great story, and I did. That's
And you know what's
amazing.
amazing is uh, Stevie ended up, of course, Stevie and Tommy could have gone anywhere. Tommy said he would have gone to Duke if he did not have that knee injury.
Yeah.
Stevie could have went anywhere, but because of the knee injury, that was kind of the big schools kind of pulled away. But Helen, Reggie,
Yes.
and Stevie all played at Liberty University on basketball scholarships.
Man, it's I wear that shirt so proudly. The craziest thing is that I got to get another one because the shirt I bought was long sleeve. I need a short sleeve right now. So, but that shirt is so comfortable.
And what size was that?
Uh, let's see, that was extra large, and I
Okay.
love and I wear it because of you. And now that you tell me your siblings were there, oh my God, it's even more special, you know. So
I'll
and
send you one.
Elijah, you had Elijah at your school. He just
Oh,
graduated,
oh,
and it's a great young man.
that's amazing.
Um,
Right now, Elijah is actually in Bulgaria serving
wow.
as a missionary.
Oh man.
And that guy just got some pictures from him, but he's serving. He's with a mission in Bulgaria. He'll come back to Liberty. He'll be there for another 3 years. He's going to go to seminary. He'll end up
Mm,
getting 2 master's degrees. Someday he's going to be a pastor. Just an
wow.
amazing story. And I think of the impact that Pastor Xavier had on his family.
Yes.
And years later, because of the impact that he had on his family, his Elijah, who went to vocational and did very well, but
Yes.
he's going to be a pastor someday, but he's doing well.
He's gonna be a good one. I can't wait. Um, I'll have to reach out to him some way and just tell him again that I'm proud of him. Um, let's see. Uh, let's see. We, if you can, let's do. Can we do 15 more minutes? Is that good?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Do you have a favorite game or career moment at Liberty that you reflect on?
Man, some of the tricks that we learned at Monty Playground,
Mm-hmm.
and this I think, as far as it probably goes beyond my time, but Manny Costa taught me a trick one day, and the trick was you're under the basket, you have the ball, and your teammate knows what you're going to do, but you tell him, let me take it out, let me take the ball out,
Mm-hmm.
and that defensive player that is standing in front of the guy that's out of bounds, he gets out of the way, and instead of me switching places, he throws the ball to me and I just put it in the basket. I will never forget it. One time I told one of our guys that was under the basket, let me take it out. And that defensive guy got out of the way, and all he did was throw the ball to me. And I scored the basket. But that was a trick that Manny Costa taught us at Monty Playground
Oh my God.
that I pulled. I could not believe my eyes when that defensive guy moved after I told my guy, hey, let me take it out.
Oh,
A
that's
Monty Playground special.
that's classic. And I could think. I mean, I get a visual at Monty of it happening. Now I get a visual at you in college doing it. I just amazing. Manny Costa, and I'm on a board with Gene Costa, so
Oh yeah.
we share so many stories, and and that was one of my mentors because Jeannie was just a fascinating person, and with her being a writer and everything, I just kind of elevated to her, and just she's
Oh,
just
that's
a
amazing.
beautiful person. Yeah.
Manny Costa used to make us so mad, but we had no idea of what he was doing. He was preparing us for something down the road that we didn't even see. I mean, he'd foul us, he would hack us.
Hmm.
I mean, there were times when we would say, let's get this basketball game going before Manny Costa gets on the court. Now, there were
Yes.
times when I was on his team and all we had to do was get him the ball. And I remember playing against Gidio Mello, Tiny Mello,
Hmm.
Chico Levamento, and we would run these guys ragged.
Yes.
Oh, we would run these guys ragged. But Manny Costa was teaching us things that we should get so mad at him. But
Hmm.
he was teaching us things that we were going to use years later on the basketball court.
Exactly. Let's see. Um, One of my good friends, former podcast guest, 12th Street, Victoria J, said my grandmother did church tent revivals with Dr. Farewell a long time ago.
Wow.
And she is another woman. She's another child of God that I can listen to Victoria J, and she has her own show at Star 107 FM, and she just talks about church, and amazing person.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so one day I hope you guys get connected because
I would love to.
yeah, she's
Is this live right now, Charlie?
yeah, we're live. We're live and on
Wow.
YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and and we usually have a good following every time the podcast is on, and then I'll create some clips for you and little sound bites and all that, and I'll post that up later, which is always good. Can't wait. Butch Texera says his jumping ability was crazy. He dunked from anywhere. That's why Kenny loved his game. He must be talking about Manny Costa, right? Or
Well,
was it
I'm
you?
going to tell you. Now, I got to go. This one here, I got to give to Tommy. My brother Tommy was at St. Thomas More.
Yep.
And Tommy came home one day and he said, Edmund, he said, I'm going to give you 3 things for you to work on. See, I couldn't palm the ball, so I had to be able to get up over that rim.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one day, Tommy came home from St. Thomas morning. He said, Edmund, he said, I want to give you 3 things to do. One was deep knee bends, jumping jacks, and toe raises.
Yep.
With this weight on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you're probably not going to make the first one, but that's okay. No one normally does. But he says in 2 weeks, you're going to be able to dunk the basketball. Well, 2 weeks later, Charlie, we're playing down at Monty Playground, doing warm-ups, summer league basketball. And Charlie, man, I went up over that rim, and all of a sudden, I never looked back since then. I mean, throw the ball off the backboard and dunk it.
Wow.
But my brother Tommy gave me those 3 tips, and it was actually, I started in my backyard on Walnut Street.
Yep.
That was my sophomore year in high school. And ever since then, of course, I ain't dunking it no more. Now I can dunk it now off a trampoline. But I'm telling you, those 3 things that my brother Tommy gave me elevated my ability to jump like I had never seen before.
Man, that's good. Good advice. Paul Gomes says the Hummer number 2. Who's he talking about?
Oh, 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 that's my man, my nephew Paul, man. I tell you what, his daddy, my brother Paul. Paul loved us all. Paul set a great example for all of us. We miss my brother Paul and his wife Billy,
So
but
true.
David and Jonathan and Paul Jr. They have a great dad, and we miss them. And again, they love their dad, they love their mom, and so Paul was always a great brother. So, in fact, I remember Charlie when he was dating his girlfriend Billy.
Yep.
They'd be kissing. They'd be kissing in the front room on 172 Walnut Street,
Yep.
and we would sneak up on them. We'd sneak up on them kissing in that front room. Oh yeah. In fact, my brother Paul. And you want to laugh? My brother Paul. I went to go ask my brother Paul. Back then CYO was 25 cents to get in.
Yep.
So I went to go see my brother Paul. They lived on Pleasant Street, third floor, Pleasant Street. So I said, "Hey Paul, can I have 25 cents to go to the basketball game at CYO?" Hey Charlie, he give me $1.
Yep.
He said, "Now listen, 25 cents to get in, 25 cents for the canteen, and bring me back my 50 cents." Well, I didn't see my brother Paul for a month because I spent that other 50 cents that I was supposed to bring back to him.
Yeah, I would have stayed away for a month too. Amazing.
My brother Paul was
Michael,
crazy. He would say, "Edmund, come on in the house and let's have a piece of pie. We'll split
yeah.
it right down the middle, 60 for me and 40 for you."
He's and Paul Gomes Senior was definitely one of those that got away because he used to tell me stories and share so many stories. I'd sit in that living room, and I don't know why I ever left because those stories were just amazing. He's telling me it, and it's like a storyteller. And I truly missed that, and so I wish I was able to capture him on video. Michael Consatio says hello. And also, Butch Texera wants me to ask you if you were Kenny Francis's godfather.
Yes, I was.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
Kenny Francis, man. Kenny had a lot of potential. Had some struggles,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I was honored to be his godfather.
Yeah. It's he was in the Bay Village.
Yep.
Mom was next door,
Yep.
and we just Miss Louise was just
Yep.
a beautiful. Her and Carol Gomes, those are the ladies in my school, my age.
Yep.
Penny Santos that really, helped us. They were the mothers within the schools, and
Yep.
it really did a lot.
And then you think of, and then I remember Keith, the success of his brother Keith.
Yeah. Yep.
And Keith used to give me some tips on how to get ready for basketball season.
Mm.
Great memory.
Yeah.
Larry Levamento,
Mm-hmm.
Keith Francis. Oh, just amazing athletes. Stevie Ramus, Moose.
Yeah, they said Butchie says he loved you. Yeah,
Amen.
he did. Keithy was I wrote a children's book about Keith Francis, and it's Keith Go Keith.
Oh wow.
And so I haven't published it yet. I had it, just never got it over the hump. I also wanted to do a documentary on him, but it was with Keith. It almost like, let me just tell you a quick story with Keith Francis. I wanted to do a biography on him, and I really wanted to do it, and but I needed his permission. And at that point, he had got sick, and so he never gave me a verbal okay to do it. And so I kind of stopped. And then later on, I thought about a documentary, and it didn't go through. But the weirdest thing is that people wasn't coming forward. Every time I wanted to talk to someone, they would miss the interview or something happened. It was almost like it was it was going to stay where it is on the shelf, And so I kind of left it alone. But that children's book, I'm going to get that out because it talks about the neighborhood, with Keith running all over the place and doing things. And Tommy Rochad told me quite a bit of stories about him. But Ed Rogers is saying that he hopes he sees you. So,
I remember Eddie Rogers. Eddie Rogers, remember his dad, mom. They lived out in Westport. You kind of take that first left after going by Lincoln Park, and that right to the left there.
Oh, nice. What I want to do is just give you this. I got one question, and then I want you to close the podcast. And the question that I give everybody that's on the podcast is, Dr. Edmund Gomes, who would you like to see on the Really Charlie podcast?
Say that question again, Charlie.
Who would you like to see on the Really Charlie podcast?
You know who I would like to see you interview? My brother Tommy.
Tommy, I will do that.
Tommy was Tommy. I've never seen anybody play with the amount of intensity that I saw my brother Tommy. And for Tommy, he got hurt. And I asked him, this was just a couple of years ago, I had asked him, I said, Tommy, if you hadn't got hurt, where do you think you was going to go play college basketball? And Tommy said he was probably going to go to Duke.
Nice.
That's how good he was. But that would be one guy that I would love to see you. And knowing my brother Tommy, Tommy it was never about Tommy. Tommy walked with humility. He had confidence.
Yes.
But he was never cocky. Tommy used to intimidate the referees.
Yeah.
But that would be my recommendation, my brother Tommy.
I will work on that as soon as this week and see what we can set up. And I will definitely do that. I appreciate you telling me and offering that fine guest because just like you get 5 stars, he's got 5 stars too. Amazing man. And Tommy's funny, man. I always loved him. The only thing I kind of blocked my ears was him singing in church.
Don't feel bad. I'd have blocked my ears too. I'd have put my hearing aid down.
Yeah. So in closing, do you have a message? Anything?
One of the things I've always appreciated about you, and I remember you, Charlie, when you was a young fella, is that you always you did more listening than you did talking.
Thank you.
And to see the desire that you have to serve others, to help kids, whether when you were serving as a police officer, it was always about helping others. And that's one of the things that I've always appreciated about you, and especially as you continue to serve, whether it was running for a political office, it was always about how can I help somebody else get where they want to go? Not how can I use people to get where I want to go? You was always about how can I help someone else go where they want to go? So again, thank you for the investment that you continue to make. And the one thing that I would leave with folks tonight is, as I look back, Charlie, the greatest decision that I made was during the riots when Russell Almeida and John Gamboa told me about Jesus. And that day, it all started at Monty Park, and then it ended up at John's house when John lived on 2nd Street. That John told me that God loved me, that Jesus died for me on the cross. And if I were to ask him to be my personal savior, he would do something for me that I could not do for myself. And that day, right there in his house, I asked Christ to be my savior. And from that day forward, life has never been the same. Since that day, I never had a problem with my parents. I never had a problem with the police. I never had a problem with my teachers. I never had a problem with my coaches. God gave me a new want to.
Mm.
And so the greatest decision that one can make is to ask Jesus Christ to be their personal savior. And then I'm thankful for all the people that God used to help me get where I'm at today. First, my parents, my brothers, my sisters, friends. And so my heart is full of gratitude. And like you said, if I had to do it again, I would. The only regret I have, Charlie, I wish I accepted Jesus Christ earlier. Other than that, I'm grateful for the family, my friends, and because of all them people, I am where I am today, helping others so that they can have a new life in Christ. So it was a joy being with you. Keep on doing what you're doing. God bless you.
God bless you. I can't even, there's not enough words when it comes to describing Ed Gomes and all the titles you earned and all the titles that were given to you. And I just want to say that every point or every moment that you and I shared was priceless to me, including this podcast. And and you may not hear me, but I think of you a lot. And being good friends with Paul Gomes Jr., we share so many stories and talk about many things. And I just want to let you know that you have a piece in my heart that gets your name in it and will always be there forever because you inspired me so much. And just by conversation, you talked about letting people talk and listen. That's what I did with you. I just listened to you. This meant so much to me. And you may think it's just little things, but it meant a lot. And I'm just one of many that you have done that for.
God bless you. Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you. And I definitely will. I'll try to share this on your wife's Facebook, so you can have it. But it's on YouTube. It's on the Really Charlie podcast channel. And I appreciate you. So if you want to do this again, please let me know. I would love to have you on here again, and we can talk about your books, all three of your books, and go into that also, because that's another inspirational piece of your life that is helping out many.
Okay, God bless you, Charlie.
You have a great night. High five, big hugs to you, and God bless.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, everyone. Hey, that's a legend. That's a legend in my eyes. That's a legend in many eyes. It just goes beyond the city of New Bedford, Massachusetts. Got a comment here. It says, Joyce Shores says, God bless you. Yes. And it says, Bob Horn says, I need, let me see. Let me read this right. It says, I used to sometimes talk with Ed on the bus going back and forth, going to Boston. And going to Boston, always good and very enlightening in conversation. So true. You got it. You are so correct on that. Butch Texera says, love all the Gomes family. Of course, yes, we do. Everyone does. Right? And if you don't, something totally wrong with you. Great show from Paul Gomes Jr. Iconic human being. Yes, Nathan Victor. Yes, he is. So with all these comments, man, this guy is just, I'm so happy that he made my day. He made my day, and I had a very good day. But guess what? He was the icing on the cake, cherry on top. And I truly, truly appreciate this podcast. I'm grateful for it. Ed talked about him being grateful for things. I was grateful to have one of my mentors on my show. So thank you. Please join me. I'll be on another podcast on Wednesday on Sometimes You Have to Lose Yourself, and also chopping it up at Honeydew. Anyone, you want to be on this podcast, my email is reallycharliepodcast@gmail.com. Send me a message and I gladly highlight you. I want to give you your flowers while you were standing. And that's what I did today for Dr. Ed Gomes, my friend, my mentor. Whew. God bless. Amen. All right, y'all. I will see you later. We're going to end with my outro song, and take care. God bless.
It's the Really Charlie podcast. Sounds so true. Grab a chair, pour out a glass. Let's break through. Echoes in the room as the stories unfold. Tune in, lean back, let the moments be bold.